All right, I thought this might be fun. I found all of my old concert programs that I have collected through the years, and I thought it would be kind of fun to go through them with you guys and talk about them a little bit, just to kind of like reminisce about concerts of long gone by, because I'm starting to actually go back to concerts again, which, man, I really missed. I really missed the live music venue, the live music scene. I'll do a video later on kind of recapping my thoughts, because I've seen 3 concerts so far with, well, let's see here, 3, 6, 7 bands in total. And I'm really excited to kind of talk to you about my thoughts about that. I discovered a lot of my old programs. Now, these are kind of intermixed between like performances and Broadway shows, or I guess Toronto live theater, and concerts. So I'll kind of just go through some of those, reminisce about the concerts, whatever comes to mind, because I'm pretty sure a few of them are going to bleed together. So these are in no rhyme or reason as well, just FYI. I just kind of took them out from I call it my tickle trunk, because it's just all of my stuff that I used to have when I was moving from like apartment to apartment, and a lot of like the keepsakes that I had. So this is always at the bottom. Let's go through it. Starting off with a couple Cirque du Soleil. My family and I would go see them quite regularly. So the first one we've got is Veracai. Great show. I loved how they used the bamboo sticks throughout the show. And this one actually came with that. Yeah. It comes with a CD-ROM. So that kind of shows you how old this is. And I do have the actual soundtrack for this as well. But yeah, great show. Another one was the traveling show of Quidam, or Quidam. Quidam. Love the show. Love the art that's in it. Love the... so it's got like a book within a book. I think this is the French book because it's Canadian. Great show. Great music. Love the story. If you've ever seen Quidam, just great. Love it. Love it. Love it. So this one is actually not mine. This is my dad's. This is Alice Cooper with the Nightmare Returns tour. This isn't mine. This is my dad's. But yeah, I actually met Alice Cooper once. Great guy. Great. Absolutely. Like very friendly, very pleasant. So there you go. Alice Cooper. Then we come to a band that I've probably seen more than any other one. And this is one of the first times I saw them. The Musical Box. This was them performing the Genesis Selling England by the Pound 30th Anniversary Tour. So that kind of showcases how long ago this was. This is what made me fall in love with Genesis. This is what made me fall in love with progressive rock. This literally changed my life. Like, literally changed my life. And what I love about this program is it really does showcase the attention to detail that the Musical Box presents. Like, these are kind of shot by shot, them and Genesis, just breathtaking, the amount of detail that they go. And the thing that I love about the programs is, it kind of showcases the work that went into recapturing these Genesis shows. So just brilliant. So there you go. There's going to be more of those, by the way. All right, next up is a practical book. This is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra Winter Tour 2008. I've seen Trans-Siberian Orchestra countless times at this point. I love the artwork. The program really is an artwork all in itself, and it captures... If you ever get a chance, you have to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra live. They go over the top, and they're even over the top in their, in their programs. It lists all the musicians and all of the stars that are on here, because of course, they have so much going on. And again, it gives like a quite a bit of a synopsis, again, how the show works, how the show is orchestrated, and what goes into it. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. Ooh, Yes, I'll do a 1-2 punch for this one. The first, ooh, you know what? 1, 2, 3. How about that? Okay, these are my Steven Wilson ones. So the first one we have is The Raven That Refused to Sing and Other Stories. My favorite show from him, by far. Favorite album from him. Favorite show from him. He played everything from The Raven That Refused to Sing. Everything is just so, like, perfect. You've got the... this one by far was my favorite of his. Marco Miniman was still on the drums at this point. Guthrie Gavin. He is on the guitars, and like he blew me away. Seeing Guthrie right on there, absolutely stellar. And what I love is that it actually has the story of The Raven That Refused to Sing. So this program actually has the like full-length short story of The Raven That Refused to Sing. The little ghost story about it. Just heart-wrenching, you know. This is my favorite work from him, so there you go. Following that up, we've got Hand Cannot Erase and that tour. So it's a little bit more stylistic in that sense. You know, you've got a lot of that overlay of art on here. It's more like a journal entry based on the woman that kind of disappeared. And it really does kind of showcase that, and it really brings forth this woman, this personality. And it's gorgeous. I love the presentation of this one. The whole concept comes through. There's, you know, pictures from the recording studio and on the road and the actual tour itself. Just brilliant. Just brilliant. So, yeah, there you go. And then finally, I've got The Happy Returns. This one's a little bit more of a flip book. What do we got here? I've got a... how about that? That's fun. Just a little keepsake from somebody from the show. So yeah, it's more of a flip book of pictures more than anything else. Unlike the other two where it was like relating it back to the concept of the album, this one is relating it kind of back to the concept of the show and really put the music kind of first and foremost for that. Yeah, so just great stuff. Yeah, it was good. It was a good time. And then of course you have the merchandise, the things that if you want, go for it. So I'm going to put that back in there. So there you go. There's my Steven Wilson ones. Let's see what we got next. Ooh, yes. Here we go. Stephen Hackett and the Genesis Tour. This is Genesis Extended, the 2014 show. Love that show. I saw it in Toronto. And what I love is, it kind of has that Genesis Revisited kind of feel to it. The different pictures. It's got a little bit of the flip book in terms of the memory lane. And then stills from the actual concert and show itself. Great stuff, He brought on a lot of special guests. So there's a picture here with Steve Rothery from Marillion. And I want to say that is John Wetton. I want to say that's John Wetton. And that looks like Jethro. So yeah, I love all the different personalities that he brought on. And kind of showcases who's who in that one. Lots of fun. Gary O'Toole, man, he can sing. Holy jeez. Nothing against Nad. Love Nad. Nad is definitely more of the Peter Gabriel sound. But Gary's full force is just oof. Oofa-doofa. So yeah, there you go. And then the Steve Hackett Revisited live at Royal Albert Hall. It's basically the show that he was doing. So, and I actually had a t-shirt way back when before it got destroyed of that. So there you go, Steve Hackett. Ooh, yeah. Here we go, Jethro Tull, the 50th anniversary tour. This was fun. This was the only time I've seen Jethro Tull live. Bleh. I keep trying to eat my hair, apparently. This was good because it kind of like, it's more of like a magazine. It gives like full accounts of like the kind of genesis of the band. And then like the people that have come on, the different albums that they've had, all the different musicians that have come in and out of Jethro Tull, their influences on it, some of the biographies of the players currently that were on this tour. There's a picture of the boys there. And then more in depth with Ian Anderson, chatting about it, all the different musicians here. So it's much more of like an actual pamphlet, like a magazine, than it is of a program. But it also lists all the different Jethro Tull albums, and some of the memorabilia you can pick up if you are so inclined. And then it ends with the Q&A. So interesting. Less about the concert and more about the band itself, which I actually appreciate. Because it's more fun to kind of look back and check that out. All right. Yeah. So this is the Reputation Taylor Swift official tour book, like a full-on book rather than like a program. And it really is. Like, it's got lots of pictures for all the different songs that she performs, because, I love that. You've got, kind of callbacks to the music videos of Look What You Made Me Do, because this is the Reputation one. And then how it interplays in the songs she performs, like Endgame. And it's mainly just like a picture book more than anything else. So, again, it kind of shows the different styles, So here we go. There's a poem by Taylor Swift in this one, Why She Disappeared, with some visual cues for that. Call it what you want, say the different things. And then here we go. There's the dancers, the bands, the backups. It really does take a village for some of these bigger tours. And then some of the behind-the-scenes rehearsal pictures. So I kind of like that. I kind of like that it's, a little bit of both in that case. And then all the different microphones, which is kind of fun. And the snakes. I had a blast with this. I took my... did I take my dad to this one? Yes, I took my dad to this one. There you go. So there you go. Ta-da! Reputation. Then we come to the first play I ever saw at the Pantages Theatre in Toronto, the Phantom of the Opera. This was one of the first programs I ever had, and I remember poring over this when I was a kid. Just revisiting, and the Phantom of the Opera is still arguably my favorite one. You have like the whole Christine Daae. I can't remember if this was the one that had Michael Crawford on it. It might have been. But I was like 6 or 7 when I saw it, so way too young to actually remember that. But yeah, I friggin' love this show. And so I remember poring over this and just reliving it. And then, not too long ago, I saw the new production of the Phantom of the Opera. And I've got the insert for the actual night that we have there. It was fun. It was fine. It was more on like a rotating stage, which, I don't know. It worked in some scenes and it didn't work in others. I really miss like the big candle, like dive deep into the catacombs kind of lost its presentation. But yeah, it's mainly just like a flip book of pictures rather than, and then, oh, here we go. How do you solve a problem without Maria? Kind of talking about that. Just kind of fun. Yeah, there you go. Thinking about to old memory lane. Gotta love the makeup though. Holy jeez. And the person that played the Phantom was okay. All right, let's see here. Moving on. We have Coldplay. This is their Head Full of Dreams tour. Wasn't a big fan of Head Full of Dreams. It was probably my least favorite album of theirs, but, I haven't actually seen Coldplay, and I took one of my best friends to see it. It was, again, a huge stadium tour, and it was fun, and it's mainly, again, just kind of pictures and flip books and things like that, and you have the stage, and it actually comes with, I think these are stickers, if you want to have stickers. Yeah, there you go. So if you want stickers, you got stickers there. And And yeah, there, ooh, looks like there's a fold-out thing. Yeah, there we go, fold-out. So you have like, you know, fold-outs halfway through the book. And it's fun. It's fun. It gives you a little bit of like, you know, kind of behind-the-scenes look as a good program should do. Yeah, it was fine. And then there's, you know, a lot of these like join the movements, all about environmentalism, which is great. They had this whole thing about believe in love thing and something yellow. But yeah, it all kind of harkens right back to them. So anyway, it's also fun because it's all like holographic and ooh. Anyway, there you go. That's Coldplay. This was the last Broadway show that I saw, sadly. And that is The Lion King. I took my my cousin to see The Lion King because she really wanted to see it, and I've seen it before, and it was so good. So you've got the insert for the night of all the different actors and all the different performers. Love this show. You know, I absolutely love this show. So you've got, like, again, stills from the show, behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, this was the Jean-Michel Jarre in concert. My dad and I were sitting so far to the wings. Unfortunately, a lot of the 3D effects that he was doing with the screens didn't actually take hold. But if you want some amazing electronic soundscapes, this was just great. So yeah, you can kind of see a little bit how it used like these rows upon rows of lights to create some really interesting effects. And it kind of goes into, you know, some pretty deep explanations of how it all works. But unfortunately, it never really worked for us because we were so close to the wall that we were just kind of like watching it and being like, okay, that looks cool, but I'm not quite sure what it means. And then, of course, you've got Jean-Michel Jarre sitting down and chatting with Snowden, you know, because there was a lot to do with that. And then, of course, you have all the different albums if you want to buy any of them. So, yeah, it was a good show. I really liked it. There you go. Ooh, speaking of good shows, King Crimson North American Tour in 2017. I can't believe that's when I saw these guys. The one and only time I saw them. Great stuff. Great finally seeing King Crimson. Again, this is more of a... this is what everybody is. You know, kind of talking about... There you go. Talking about what it all means for King Crimson at this iteration. And then just kind of like a picture book. Travel log in that sense. There you go. You can see the set list as well. Yeah, it was great. I love that performance. Even though at the very beginning, you know, the announcer guy comes on and says, yeah, don't take any pictures, don't take any recordings. Let's have everybody enjoy their time. And then, of course, the guy in front of me spends the whole time staring through his phone. You know, doesn't even turn it off. So I was kind of disappointed. Okay, I'm just going to rapid fire a couple of these because it looks like these are a lot of programs for the plays that I saw. So we've got Matilda, great show, loved Matilda. We've got The Book of Mormon, hilarious, love the music on that. We've got Wicked, so friggin' good. I saw this one actually twice. Kinky Boots, this was a great one, had a lot of fun with that one. We've got The Newsies. That one was just fun and hilarious. And then finally, the most recent Cirque du Soleil that I saw, which was Volterra. Volta, I think that was. They incorporated like bikes and whatnot, and I love the aesthetics of this show. I actually went through and I bought the CD, and it's up at the family cottage. Love the aesthetics of this one. Like, just... It's gorgeous. It's very pastel. It's very vibrant, and like look at all those primary colors for the win. Love it. And then just kind of talking about like the concept of it, the different people about it, you know, the behind the scenes stuff, the practice that they went in, the creative team. You know, it goes into some detail about the whole concept, and then all the artists and the casts and whatnot. Beautiful. And then at the end, you've got all the different shows. So let's see. I wonder which ones I've seen. I have seen Veracai. I've seen Kai. I've seen Totem. I have seen... Oh, they don't have all of them. Because I was going to say, there's... I've seen Alegria and Kadam, but they don't seem to be on here. I really want to see the Beatles Love. Like, holy jeez, what I wouldn't do to see that. Anyway, great time with Volta. Great, great time. All right, ooh, speaking of Taylor, here's her 1989 tour. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's in... There we go, if I move it... Yeah, it's all like that 3D kind of aspect of it. One of my best friends and I went. I love this concert. I had a blast with this concert. It was so much fun. Love the costume work here. So great. There we go. Anyway, great show. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Okay, let's see here. They didn't have a program for the Mannheim Steamroller show that I saw, but they had a pamphlet, so I grabbed that. Another Trans-Siberian Orchestra. This was the Winter Tour 2015. And this was right after they released, what was it, Tales from the Labyrinth or something like that. Wasn't a big fan of that one. It's, in my mind, it's kind of their weakest album. But again, you get that same kind of vibe on the inside here. So, yeah, it was just... kind of fun. Oh, so there's a fold. Like it folds out right up into the labyrinth itself. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Anyway, there we go. Then, here we go. Another musical box. This was the one, A Journey Through the World of Genesis. This one I don't think had a specific theme in mind. It was just recapturing the essence of Genesis. So yeah, got some pictures there. This is all from the Foxtrot tour. A little bit later, oh yeah, so you have kind of like the dark show that I saw. Then there's the Selling England show, which still is probably my favorite of theirs. I've seen that one probably more than anyone else. Then is there The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway? Yeah, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway and all the costume changes and all the things on that one. So there we go. There's some more pictures there. It's more of like a picture continuation. Yeah, and that's about it for this one. Ah, yes. Muse, the Second Law tour. This was the first time I saw it. Again, I took one of my best friends, the same friend that I took to see the Coldplay tour and the Taylor Swift tour. So my dad had to back out last minute on this, which he was not very happy about, but my friend was very happy about. And what I like is right at the midpoint here, you've got like different, like, yeah, I don't know. It's very fun. I really like this tour. I love the aesthetics of the Second Law. Not necessarily my favorite album from theirs. There's like a Q&A aspect to it. But I definitely love the aesthetics of it. Like, it's so chaotic. Again, give me neon colors and I am in. And I do love how all of Muse's tours are just a spectacle to be seen. But I love that kind of inverted pyramid that started and ended the tour. Yeah, loved it. Muse, Muse, Muse. And you can see that it's got a whole bunch of Muse on there. All right, next up, looks like we've got the Peter Gabriel Back to Front show with his So. I loved this concert. This was the only time I actually got to see Peter Gabriel, which I'm a little sad for. Wish I got to see him a little bit more, but just never really came together. And glad that I got to see him here. It kind of goes behind the scenes a lot in terms of like sound construction and how he went ahead and constructed this tour. Anyway, so Back to Front. Glad I finally got to see him. And speaking about somebody that I finally got to see, David Gilmour with his Rattle That Lock tour. It was good. I really wish I got to see his On the Island tour because I kind of liked that one a little bit more. But I mean, I'm not going to complain at all. Again, it's kind of a combination of pictures on the road and pictures from the stage. Not a whole lot in terms of like I mean, there is a little bit of like, hey, this is what the album means to me. This is what the show is trying to feature. People writing about the show and writing about David Gilmour. Great works in that case. And then kind of going into the actual players and the other people that he had with him on the show, which was great. Love to see that. Yeah. And then kind of making of the video, the girl in the yellow dress. That's fun. That was a fun track. And there you go. So, yeah, great stuff. All right, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the Great Northern Empire. We know what this is from. And which one's this one? Raven Skull. For those of you that don't know, this is Dream Theater with the Astonishing tour. By the Emperor, a proclamation from your gracious sovereign to the loyal subjects of the Great Northern Empire of Americas to beware of treason. You know, you got this whole thing. I was a little upset because the person that I went with confused the start time with the door time. And then, here we go, goes into the story of the Astonishing, goes into the players and the act, like the whole storyline with the people. So I missed a little bit of the show, which I was a little bit angered about. But yeah, what I also love is kind of behind the scenes. And basically for this tour, they just played the Astonishing. You know, there's the boys themselves. You get halfway through and you finally actually see the people, you know, the actual guys there. Because when you flip it over, you read it from this way. A message from Eris, son of Mahers, commander of the Raven Skull Rebel Militia. Burr, 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 burr. And then you have all of the, you know, the resistance and all the people in the... this is mainly for, like, Act 2, so you flip it over for Act 2, and there's all the other players for Evangeline and Xander, talking about the noise machines or the Nomax. Yeah. Not their best work, but definitely a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Okay, ooh, this is one of the first ones that I have. This one is Yes 35. Yeah, this was one of the first concerts I went to. The first band that I saw was Yes Live. And I don't think that this was the first one. This is, maybe it was. No, this wasn't, because the first one that I saw, they weren't really touring for any, like they were touring, but I also think they were touring with Rick Wakeman, and I don't know if Rick Wakeman was here. Anyway, they had these inflatable, like, choral features that's very Roger Dean, and they talk about those things, early gigs, and they kind of go like right into it and do a whole retrospective of Yes and them, the Fragile tour, and then yeah, it just kind of like goes through the years of like the Yes Close to the Edge, the Tales tour, and like I love the pictures that are found on here, the Relayered tour, Going for the One tour, Tornado tour. So like it's I love the fact that it really does kind of take its time, talks about each tour. Oh yeah, the Union tour. Man, to actually see it, like the album itself was kind of blech, but you know, Talk tour, the Keys to Ascension tour. That might be, which was the one that I saw. It wasn't the Ladder tour. Maybe it was the Magnification tour. In 2001. So this is really cool. Yes, here we go. That was probably the one that I saw. Yes, 2002 Full Circle Tour. That was the first one that I saw. Because I saw it in 2003. And then, hey, it's the players. R.I.P. Chris Squire, Steve Howe, Rick Wakeman, Alan White, who very recently passed away. R.I.P. my dude. That hit me hard. That really hit me hard. And then, the bootography. The, all the bootlegs. That's kind of fun. So there you go. Ooh, they got the Yes online stuff. This is just fun. Talking about Rick Wakeman and the 35th anniversary and blah, 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 blah. Steve Howe. Yeah. So there you go. Ta-da. We even have this record, like the 35th thing there. Anyway, let's see here. What else we have? Ooh, right. Queen, A Kind of Magic. This was a tribute band for Queen that I saw when they came through Barrie. And it kind of talks about, you know, again, a lot of these are like showcasing like the differences, how they constructed, how they recreated a lot of these, the cast, the crew. So there you go. That's kind of fun. This was a good show. I had a great time at this show. That was great. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Another musical box. I mean, this one's practically identical to the other one. A Journey into Genesis. In fact, it's a little different, but it's essentially the exact same as that other one that I showed you. Just instead of it being blue, it's black. So there you go. And then we've got... So if you haven't realized, we've seen the Trans-Siberian Orchestra a whole bunch of times. This is the 2007 tour. I think this was the first one that my dad and I saw. So yeah, it's basically identical to the other ones that I've already showed you. I'm going to put that there. I'll clean that up later. Here we go. The only time I got to see Rush with their Snakes and Arrows. Love this one. This one was such a great tour. Unfortunately, we saw them at the Molson Amphitheater, which I think is now called the Budweiser Stage, and the sound was kind of crap. Like, maybe it was just where we were sitting, but yeah, it wasn't all that great. They kept doing things with chicken in this tour. But, you know, the guys are just fun like that. So I had a great time with this one. Ta-da! Getting into the final batch. Dream Theater, the first time I saw them with their Black Clouds and Silver Linings tour. The last tour with Mike Portnoy. I'm so glad I got to see them, see him with the band. It was great because then you had, you know, the whole Progressive Nation thing that they were doing. We should have seen them. I'm still very annoyed. My brother made us late so that we came through halfway by Zappa Plays Zappa when we missed Big Elf and Scale the Summit. Could you imagine getting to see Scale the Summit back in like the late 2000s and Big Elf at that time? I'm still not over that. But at least we got to see halfway through Zappa Plays Zappa. But yeah. Anyway, Black Clouds and Silver Linings, great tour. Let's see here. It looks like we only have 3 left. This is the Roger Waters Dark Side of the Moon tour. And what I love about it is it's basically like a slip for like an album. So you've got like the sleeve for the album and then... There you go. That's beautiful. The only time I saw Roger Waters, and I loved it. It was 2007. It was great. Honestly, one of my favorite shows that I've ever seen. And again, talking about the tour, talking about the album, what it made to make it, how Rogers approached it. Love the graphics on here. And, you know, talking about all the different people that are on here. And one of the things that I do appreciate are those, like, studio musicians that have put out solo records. He actually has them listed in the credits, like the actual album itself. And yeah, there you go. This was a great show. Great show. I reminisce about it constantly. Another one that's shaped like a record is the Musical Box with their Selling England by the Pound tour. And so it opens up like a gatefold, like a record. It basically mimics the record of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. And you have 2 programs in here. You got your one here that's basically just, you know, a couple pages. Ooh, this one comes out, apparently. The note that Phil Collins wrote about The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. So this is more of like the actual show itself. So that's kind of fun where you have the slipcover and the item there. This is very unique. I like the fact that they actually did this. And then the second one, there you go. There you go. Great stuff. Love this show, by the way. If you can ever see it, they came through Toronto last month, and unfortunately it was just a little bit out of my price range in terms of concerts at this point, because I had to kind of pick and choose. But yeah, they basically recreated the album cover in that case. And then finally, Along for the Ride, Dream Theater. I want to say this was the last time I saw them. No. I saw them for their the last tour that they were at. So, not the current tour that they're on, but the last one. So, there you go. This was the last one. Or I guess the last record. Or you can tell it's getting to be a long video when I'm starting to mince words. Yeah, it's mainly just a picture book at this point. And then there's all the... So this was the self-titled album of theirs that they were showcasing. So there you go. Dun, 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 dun. And that's it. Those are all the programs that I've collected and I've kept. I don't think I've missed anything. I think those are all the ones that I have. As you can see, I've seen a number of bands multiple times and a few only once. But great times. And I think that's it. Thank you all for joining me on this little video that I thought of. I thought it would be great to showcase those, and might be fun for you to see the shows that I've seen. This clearly isn't even close to scratching the surface in terms of the amount of shows that I've seen, because a lot of them don't have programs. It's just when there's a program, I pick it up. So there you go. There you go. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know of some of the programs that you've kept over the years. Which ones are your favorites? I love programs. I think it's a great keepsake of a concert. And I love reading about like the behind the scenes stuff as well. So let me know of your concert programs that you've collected over the years. And let me know of some record or some shows that you're looking forward to. And that's all I've got for you guys today. So thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, notes out.